Vivekachudamani, 432nd verse. Atita ananusandhanam bhavishyat avicharanam audasinyam api praptam jivan muktasya lakshanam. So, for some verses now, Shankaracharya is giving the characteristics of a person who is Jivan Mukta. That means a person who is liberated in life. Even while living, that person has got the knowledge of the ultimate truth, reality, or Brahman, and that person is Jivan Mukta. That person is not like us, Baddha Jiva. So electricity goes away, you are in problem. If it is there also, you are in problem. Your mobile signal is not there, you are in problem. So you are only searching for problems. Why? Because you are always in problem. But Jivan Mukta is always free, ever free. We all are nodding our heads because we don't understand. What is ever free?
कुछ चाहना नहीं है, कुछ एक्सपेक्टेशन नहीं है, कुछ रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है, जो आए वही है, ठीक है.
So a person whose satisfaction is not dependent on something external is ever free. A person whose personality is not dependent on anything external is ever free. And so, generally, this freedom is hindered or this freedom is bound by our worries. What kind of worry? So there was this farmer, and this farmer went to the Guru, and Guru saw the farmer very worried and asked, "What happened? Why are you worried?" So he said, "No, this year the crop it was not so good." And so he said, "Oh, it was not good. So did the crop fail?" He said, "No, last year the crop was very good. So I have storage for almost 4 years, but this year it was not good." So this year also crop, it was a normal crop. Last year it was bumper crop. So it was, oh, so why are you bothered? You have last year's storage, so it will go on for another 4 years. And this year also you have got normal crop, so it is okay. Why do you bother? No, I am thinking what will happen next year. If next year nothing comes, then what will happen? So this fellow is, though he got a normal crop in that year and a bumper crop in the previous year, but that fellow is thinking, what will happen next year? So people are worried. When somebody becomes pregnant, they are worried. Oh, in which school will this child be admitted? And about about 5 years, 6 years ago, Advaita Ashrama in Delhi, we have an employee there. And so his wife got pregnant. And he said, "Maharaj, my wife has conceived, and so I went to the school." I said, "Conceived? You went to the school?" "No, to apply for play school." I thought he was joking. But no, he applied for play school and it took him 3 years to get the admission. So when the child is conceived, you apply. So the people are thinking, where will I admit this child? What will happen to this child, etc., etc., even before the child is born. And once the child comes of age, and if it is a son and gets married, that fellow will be thinking, where will I send my parents? Which old age home? Like that. So atita anusandhanam people do. They always think about the past, and bhavishyat vicharana they do. They will think about the future. So you have come to Mayavati. Very few people are actually seeing this. They are thinking, oh, ekhante ke kothai jabo, Munsheri jabo. I will go to Munsheri, then Mukteshwar. How will I go? Oh, then you catch the Maharaj. Maharaj, ekhante ke. The day they have arrived, Maharaj, ekhante ke ki kore jabo. How will I go? What vehicle I will get, etc. Okay. Now they are all everything. Oh, I have motion sickness, so I should get medicine and all that. So they have come here. We allow only 3 days because more than 3 days it is unmanageable for you also, for us also. So 3 days we allow you to stay, and these 3 days are gone by you thinking that, oh, what will happen? How will I go? And where will I stay? Etc. etc. what do you enjoy of this place? Nothing. Because you have not come here to enjoy. You see, when people go out on vacation after Durga Puja and all that, when people go out on wandering, they go out and all their time they spend on how will I go, where will I stay, what will I eat. So if you go to Himachal Pradesh, the in one side of the border there is the last village called Chitkul, and there also you will see posto bhat pawa jabe, written in Bengali. Aloo posto, Baudi hotel, Baudi hotel. So aloo posto pawa jabe. Why you are bothered about aloo posto? Are Chitkul, you have gone to Chitkul, eat whatever you get. No, aloo posto pawa jabe. ভাত পাওয়া যাবে বাবা দুটো ভাত খেয়ে পাচ্ছি বাহ so then you are বাবা কত আনন্দ and there also so all those hotels you cannot own any property in Himachal Pradesh, so all those hotels are constructed by Himachal Pradesh people and leased out to Bengalis. All Bengalis run and there will be some Shamalda or Samda, Tapanda, and you will say, oh, Shamalda, apnar badi kotha hai, Medinipur, oh. Bas. So, where did you travel? You didn't travel anywhere. Only that setting was removed from Kolkata or wherever you are and put in Chitkul, that's all. Oh, same thing. Arey, college street mein gaya na. Same thing you are conversing, same ideas, same Satyajit Ray, same Ravi Thakur. One fellow, a person, in Narendrapur there was a function, one of our monk went and then he said on the dais, দেখবেন সব ঠাকুর চলে যাবে শুধু রবি ঠাকুর থাকবে. So such stereotypical life, so straight jacketed, and then you say that আমি চিৎকুল গেলাম কি বেড়ালেন. You don't even know how they speak, you have not seen any of their rituals. You just took your aloo posto, went to Chitkul, had aloo posto there, came back. So you came back again. So this is what you know. And now to make matters worse, Kundu special is there everywhere. All over India you go, here also they have come. So Kundu special. So Dada, taratari cholon. So what did you see? What did you learn? Travel means learning, mixing with new people, learning new cultures, languages. What did you do? Nothing. So that is the thing. Because you are always concerned about what will happen next or what happened in the past. That's what. All your life centers around it. If you see any of your conversation, it's like that. Dada, আমি যখন ওই দুর্গাপুরে ছিলাম, past or in the future. Now I am planning to go to that place, this place. So that is what a Jivan Mukta does not do. Atita Ananusandhanam does not think about the past. And Bhavishyat Avicharanam does not bother about the future. Why? Because that person has known one's true nature. So there is nothing to bother about, either about the past or about the future. And Audasinyam api praptam. And also is Audasinya, is indifferent to what is praptam, what is happening in the present. So that person does not bother about the future, does not bother about the past, and does not also bother about the present. Is not, see, our life is always we compare the present with either the future or with the past. I am getting this now, will I get it in future? Or I got this in the past, will I get it now in the present, etc. And so this is Jivan Muktasya Lakshanam. If we could do only this, in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, there are characteristics of Sthita Prajna, or a person who has realized the ultimate reality. When Arjuna asks Sri Krishna tells those characteristics. Similarly, here also these characteristics are given. Now, a person who has not realized the truth, a person who has not realized the ultimate truth, what would that person do? What would that person do? That person has to practice these. So, as spiritual practice, as spiritual disciplines. So, there, for example, it is said, Dukkheshu anudvignamana, Sukheshu vigataspraya. A person who is not perturbed in misery and also is not attached in happiness. So, what should a person who has not realized the ultimate truth or God or Brahman do? That person has to practice that. Similarly, here, all of us who have anybody realized God here? Nobody.
Yes, they have realized.
Yes.
You have realized God?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, in
What do you mean by realizing God?
uh, his or her blessings at least.
I will translate. Are you Bengali?
Yes.
ভগবান লাভ হয়েছে?
ভগবান লাভ কিনা বলতে পারি না
না,
কিন্তু
না, আবার কি? ভগবান লাভ মানেটা কি? What is realizing God?
আত্মাকে রিয়েলাইজ করা।
sort of realize করা যে
Sort of realize হয় না. What is realizing God?
তিনি যে আছেন আর তার যে আশীর্বাদ আছে আমার প্রতি
সেটা realizing God না।
ক্যান আই সে আমার মনে হয় আমি যে রিয়েলাইজ করি আমি যখন বনে যাই ফরেস্টে তখন যে গাছকে আমি জড়িয়ে ধরি তাতেই আমার মনে হয় যে
ওটা realizing God না। Realizing God means there are many definitions, but one definition is a doubtless understanding of your own personality. ওটা আপনার হয়েছে? আপনার পুরো ডাউট কি সংশয় সব চলে গেছে?
না
তো আপনার রিয়েলাইজ হয়নি। That is not realizing God. If you realize God, there will be no more doubts. That is realizing God. All these things are simply flights of imagination. আপনি জঙ্গলে গেলেন, একটু ভালো লাগলো, এখানে এলেন ভালো লাগলো, আপনি জীবনে কোনো কষ্ট পাচ্ছেন, হঠাৎ ঠিক হয়ে গেল, ভগবানের আশীর্বাদ. All these are nothing but fancies, flights of imagination. They are not realizing God. Realizing God is something which is unshakable, which is doubtless. After you realize God, you will have no doubt about yourself, God, or this universe.
ভগবানের ইচ্ছে ছাড়া পাতা নড়ে না। দ্যাট ইজ রিয়েলাইজিং গড।
সেটা রিয়েলাইজিং গড নয়, এটা তো ঘটনা। আপনি কি সেটা বুঝতে পেরেছেন?
আমি সেটা বুঝতে পারি
না, বুঝতে পারেননি। কেন? তাহলে আপনার জীবনে সংশয় আসছে কেন?
আমার সংশয় নেই।
না, সেটা ভুল বলছেন আপনি। আছে আপনার
সংশয় নেই।
নেই বললে তো নেই হবে না।
প্রমাণ দিতে হবে।
আপনার কি স্বামী স্ত্রী এখানে আছে?
হ্যাঁ আছে।
হ্যাঁ, ওনাকে জিজ্ঞাসা করলে বোঝা যাবে।
সে উনি বলতে পারে না, আমার নেই।
না না, ওইটাই
আমার রিয়েলাইজিং
না না, ওরম না, ওটা রিয়েলাইজেশন নয়, ওটা রিয়েলাইজেশন নয়, ওইটা আমরা ভাবি ওরকম। দ্যাট ইজ নট রিয়েলাইজিং গড। সো যারা মানে পিপল হু হ্যাভ নট রিয়েলাইজ গড, দ্যাট ইজ অল অফ ইউ, অল অফ আস হিয়ার ইন দিস রুম, we have to practice this. What? Atita ananusandhanam, not bothering about the past. Bhavishyat avicharanam, not bothering about the future. And praptam audasinyam, whatever we have got, being indifferent towards it. If you are suffering, be indifferent towards it. If you are happy, if you are in happiness, or if you are in luxury or comfort, be indifferent towards it. How would you know that you are indifferent? Your very action, your very mind will tell you. You will definitely know. When you are suffering, that is why forbearance is given so much importance in spiritual life. What is forbearance? Sahanam sarva dukkharam apratikara purvakam. In Vivekachudamani itself, earlier Shankaracharya said, Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam chinta vilaparahitam sati tiksha nigadyate. A person who can suffer anything, sahanam sarva dukkhanam, all kinds of suffering, without apratikara, without telling anything, without any reaction, without any response. And not only that, chinta vilaparahitam, without having any worry or lamentation. So most people, they don't tell anything, but then they start worrying, and then they start lamenting to others, to oneself, that oh, I am suffering like this. Oh, আমি মায়াবতীতে আছি, কালকে রাত্রিবেলা এখানে পাওয়ার কাট ছিল, কি কষ্ট কি কষ্ট. So like that. So this lamentation, and also suffering, and also thinking, worrying about that. A person who does not do, that is the person who is truly indifferent to the present. Indifferent. But okay, this is for suffering. What about you are, suppose you are in luxury. There also, you should not bother much about what is happening to you. Suppose you are given some most fine food in the world, You just eat it just like you eat some other thing. Just like you eat mudi, badam mudi. You eat it without making a much fuss or without becoming elated. That is when you are indifferent to the present. So, if one can be indifferent to the present and not bother about the future, not bother about the past. Now, there are some people who say, I don't care. That is that is something which people say because of carelessness, or egotism. I don't care. You don't care because you think you can do anything, whatever you want. But the first instance where that person gets a shock or a jolt, then that person says, "Oh, ho, ho, what will happen to me," etc., etc. So that is the difference between a person who has realized truth. That person does not care because there is nothing to care. But a person who says like that, আমি কাউকে পরোয়া করি না, that kind of a statement, I don't bother about anybody, that person is usually saying that because that person thinks that that person can do anything. So that is not what is being meant here. Here what is being meant is a person who knows the unreality of this world, a person who knows the reality of the ultimate reality, God or Brahman or ultimate truth, and knows the unreality of this world, does not bother about this universe or happenings in this universe, because the person knows that there is nothing to bother about. So that is what we have to practice. That is what we have to practice. What will happen in the future? Do not bother about the future. Don't bother about the future. So most of the time we spend in planning for the future. When you don't bother about the future, you will not plan for the future. So automatically that will go away. But how many of you can not plan for the future? You're already planning, right? What will happen to your children, where they will be married, or if they are married, what will happen to their grandchildren, your grandchildren, etc. So that is what is required in spiritual life, that you should not worry about this world. Guna dosha visheshte asmin swabhavena vilakshane sarvatra samadarshitvam jivan muktasya lakshanam. See, these two things are something which are, these two verses, the previous one and the present one, are something which we can practice very much. Guna dosha vishishte asmin swabhavena vilakshane sarvatra samadarshitva. We have to look at the universe with equanimity, samadarshitva, with an eye of equality. And guna dosha vishishte asmin bhavena vilakshane. Though apparently we see that there are merits in people, things, objects, etc., guna, and dosha, there are demerits in people, things, objects, and they are vishishte asmin swabhavena vilakshane. Because of having these merits and demerits, they are different from one another by their swabhava, by their nature. So you see a person, you say this person is an evil person. You see another person, you say this person is a good person. Usually if somebody helps you, that person is a good person. If that person does not help you, that person is an evil person. Okay, so all these things you see. But even though apparently you see these things, these differences, if you can see everyone with the same eye, if you can treat everyone equally, then Jivan Muktasya Lakshanam. That is the characteristic of a person who is a Jivan Mukta, treating everyone equally. But can you? All people who call themselves devotees, they hire cabs and come. And many people don't even know the name of the person. They are traveling, say, from here to Katgodam. At least it will take 4.5 to 5 hours. They will go, say, they will stop in a place and they will eat, etc. So it will take like 6 hours. But they would not have known the name of the person who is driving the vehicle. Why? Because either that person is a driver or a bhaiya or a chotu or something. You don't know the person's name, you don't know or even if you know the name, people what they do, they go to a fancy hotel and give this person 100 rupees. Some people don't even give that. Why? Because travels, I have given money to the travels. They will take care. Why should I give 100 rupees? So much of money, why should I spend? Though that person is practically having your life in his hands and bringing you, but you will not give. But if you go to a pantaloon or a big store like that, fixed price, you will give money. Whatever they ask, you will give. You may also give extra. You go to a fancy hotel, you may give extra tips. That 100 rupees also, 200 rupees tips you may give. But you will not give more money to this person, or better still, you will not bring that person and make him eat with you. Why can't he eat in that hotel? Because your status is big and that person is a driver. So there is some status differences there. So all our talk comes to this. In your house, you will be a professor, you are going and teaching in universities. And in your house, there will be a maid servant whose children are not able to study. First of all, you will not also know about this. You will not bother to care about that. And even if you know, you will not bother. Why? Because you are too good for these people. They are all, because their karma. So now karma theory comes very handy for you. You say, because of their karma, they are born like this. And because of my great karma. But what about this karma, where you are seeing other person suffering? So now next janma, you will be born like a dog. Because you saw somebody suffering and you did not bother. You are indifferent. So this is, forget about treating everyone equally. People don't even have basic human empathy or sympathy. We don't have. Somebody is hurt and lying down on the footpath or road, everybody walks by. Because Baba ki dorka, ki jhamela. Why would I get into jhamela? Sometimes I feel that person, some social experiment should be done like that. A person will lie down like this with a big iron rod, and somebody does not help, then will give one blow on the head. Ki jhamela, evare bujeno, jhamela. One big blow, because that person, what is the use of such person living? So guna dosha vishishte, all these things. Here what is being talked about is a much higher state. But even people are not bothered to, help people. And then they talk about, suppose there is a signal and then somebody comes and begs for some money. And then they talk about, oh, it's a big mafia and this. If you give 5 rupees to that poor boy or girl, whosoever it is, they may get some share. Even if it is mafia, how are you helping the person? You are not helping. So it's a big mafia. Even though it is a big mafia, that poor kid has no dress, proper dress, no food that you can see visibly. You are sitting in a AC car, not even rolling down your windows, and you're saying big mafia. We should not, begging we should not give. We should not give money to these people. All these big things will, you sit on a rickshaw, and when you get down, you will haggle with that rickshaw fellow for 20 rupees or 30 rupees. But if you book Ola, what will happen? Will you haggle? Whatever they say, you will pay. That's the thing. We are so indifferent. We are so callous. Earlier, when we were also going to school, we used to share our lunch and all that. Nowadays, mothers, they tell their kids, don't give your food to others. And we used to work together, we used to study together and all that. Nowadays, parents tell their kids that you study, don't tell those things to your classmates. That is what we have become. We stay in the same apartment or in the same area, and we are not bothered about what is happening to other people. Somebody even asks you lift, you will not give because so many terrorists. But very few people know that more people die because of malnutrition. And terrorism death in India or across the world is very, very less. More people die out of road accidents. Much more people die out of road accidents. Who is a terrorist? But still, oh, no, 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 we should not give lift. When I was a student, I used to all the time take lifts and go travel places. Because that is how you used to travel. Now, who will give you lift? You may stand the whole night. Nobody is going to give you a lift. Because humanity, belief in humanity has gone. You know why? Why?
Believe in humanity?
Has gone away. Why?
Selfishness.
Because you don't believe in yourself. That is why. That is why Swamiji says that you believe in yourself and then I will call you a theist, a believer. Not if you believe in God and all that. So this you see, we may talk about great things about spirituality. But what about the person who is working in your house, a house servant? And what about the person who is driving your car? What about the person who is the watchman? How do you treat them? And I see that people treat people like some people they call like this. Or everyone has a name. Call that person with a name. This much if you can't do, then don't call yourself a follower of Sri Ramakrishna. Because not only you are telling a lie, but you are also spoiling the name of Sri Ramakrishna. If you are a follower of Sri Ramakrishna never treated anyone like that. So why should you treat somebody like that? You don't give basic dignity to human beings. And what do you think of yourself? Arey, most of you are now, I think, above 50. So your days are being counted. One day you will have to go. So at least now you should think. And then even in houses, how you treat your children, how you treat people. You claim things. We always claim things. You go and sit. I have to be given tea. I have to be given coffee. I have to be treated. I have to be doted upon, attended to, etc. Why? How many times have you given somebody something? How many times have you cooked in your own house? Particularly this side of the earth. How many times have you done? Nothing. Always you are like some jamindar or what? What?
No, Maharaj, I have tried, but we have been kicked out.
You have tried.
We have been kicked out of the kitchen.
No, you have tried. First of all, you cannot speak for the entire this thing. You have tried, not we have tried. You have tried. And because you see, you don't know cooking, so if you go and cook, then there will be more problem. I know of people who one day they will go and cook and all the boxes will come down on the thing and all vessels will come and you would have done your adventure of cooking, but that poor lady has to do the cleaning after you. So that is also a problem. This I have seen very closely many places. So this is also a problem. So first learn cooking also. First you have to, that is not how it has to be done. First you have to, when somebody is cooking, say wife or mother or somebody, you have to go and stand and watch and assist. That is how you learn. You go to any hotel, dhaba, restaurant. Do you think a person goes and immediately they will give them cooking? Never they will do that. Some of our cooks here, they worked outside and they tell that they will never do. First you have to only do chapati. When your chapati becomes round shape, otherwise it is India, Africa, etc. When it becomes round shape, then they will give you, okay, now cut vegetables. Then you will have to cut vegetables for many years. And then you will understand. Cooking does not mean simply going and putting things. That anybody can do. See, so first if you do like that, then you have to gain the faith. And then afterwards, then you yourself know how to do cooking is an art. So then you know how to do cooking. How many of us do that? You one day you suddenly got some recipe. Now you want to prove that you can also cook. Tumi ki koro dekho aaj ki ami ki banachi. So everything comes down, and so there is a reason why you are kicked out of the kitchen. See? So all these things are there. So whatever we talk about Vedanta, etc. First, are we human beings? First, do we have this basic thing of just being open to things? Do we have? We don't have. Then what are we talking about? We can't treat people with a boss. I am the boss, you have to listen. A teacher. Which teacher? I have not found, very rarely I have come across teacher. a teacher who can say in the classroom, I don't know. That's why nobody respects teachers. Because those kids you are teaching, they know much more than you. Today it is 2016. They know much more than you. So going with a air about you that you know everything is not going to help, and they are not going to learn from you. And who tells that nowadays students are not obedient? I teach in many universities, and I have found, and that also universities where they don't bother about religion, where they don't bother about monk, they don't care about my being monk and all that. They call me sir, and then they respect. Like school children, they behave. Why? Because you have to earn that respect by giving them that equal respect. And then they know that no, we have something in this class, we have power, we have some equal interaction, etc. Same thing in house, same thing everywhere. If we treat people with respect, even a dog, even snakes, even everything, lizard, scorpion, everything will listen to you. But we don't treat people with respect. Swamiji said each soul is potentially divine. We don't treat anyone with that respect, and so we suffer. And that is why I think these two shlokas, not bothering about, not caring about, or bothering about the past, present, and future, and and also treating everyone equally, that we have to follow. That we have to follow. And also it also means other thing, that somebody very influential or a big don or somebody is coming, then you treat that person also equally. You don't treat that person with great, okay, somebody has come, you maybe offer some respect and all that, that's all. But you don't go out of your way to please that person. Why? Because you are also a person. You may be a great person, but you are also a person. This requires courage and faith in oneself. And if you can't do that, then you are living a false life. Your whole life has no meaning. That means you don't believe in yourself. Even a person who has not studied anything, you may be a professor or you may be a scientist or you may be a doctor. A person who is to second class pass, if that person is the local don, comes to you and he says, namaskar, namaskar, because you're afraid. So that is not spirituality. See, Sri Ramakrishna, what Bankim Chandra comes and he says, when he says Ahar Nidra Maitun, he says, whatever he eats, he belches. So that frankness, that truthfulness you should have. If you don't have, you have not even started spiritual life. What spiritual life? Just getting some mantra or getting a guru is not spiritual life. You have to practice something. Mantra the guru gave because of guru's grace. Many people say, I got initiation. Dikha niyechi. So you have not taken initiation, you have been given initiation. It's a whole different thing. That is because of Guru's grace. But what did you do? You have done nothing. Okay, so before we even talk about spirituality, I think these are the two things which we should practice. And if we practice, our world will be a better place. Though, according to Advaita Vedanta, this world is unreal. But even within this unreal world, we make life miserable because of our own worldviews. So that we can avoid. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat.